Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. Beginning the 7 a.m. turn of Into the Woods by GMT Games. So this will be going through divisional orders, no need for initiative because the Confederates have it, and anything else at beginning of turn events, organising the AM pools and such forth. And we might get through to our first activation, but as I like to say, I'll try to keep these videos as short as possible. Anyway, if you go and do the like, subscribe if you really enjoy what I do, and any comments much appreciated. But let's now go through the map. Okay, 7 a.m. Now there are special rules that occurred in the 6 a.m. and continue into the 7 a.m. turn. So we still have the there's no fatigue for 3 activation for the CSA in the 6 a.m. and the 7 a.m. So they're getting 3 activations. Automatic CSA initiative and the Peabody detachments are still available. The US is still under alert conditions. Still suffering from +1 to their UDD rolls. Still suffering from special route checks and ammo resupply issues. So there's still a lot of additional chrome I've got to think about on top of the normal sequencing. So let's see now the sequence of play for the turn, and we'll go through this. So the initiative segment, we know we don't need to do that because the Confederates have it. Starting next turn, we'll have to roll a dice for each side. So we're into the ordered segment, and we now got to determine chain of command for both, because no one's automatically in command as they were on the first turn. We'll start with the Confederates, and we'll start with from top down. Now, I did sort of work it out last time because I was trying to get my commanders in range, but that's on the last video, and if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. In fact, go and start from, if you haven't even watched 6 a.m., start at the beginning and work your way through. Okay, Army Commander Johnson and Army Commander Beauregard. Okay, so we'll start with Beauregard. He's got a command range of 10. Each of these woods is 2 for command, not for movement. But he just needs to get to command onto this trail, and then he stretches it out 2 polk. Each one of those trails is 1. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Polk is in command. Polk is the corps commander, 1st Corps. He's stacked with Clark is the divisional commander, so Clark's in command. And Clark is in command with Stuart, so therefore all these guys are in command. So we don't have to worry about this section because Stuart's command range is 3, and he goes, as long as they're connected to another unit adjacent, that command range can go further. So 3, that's 1, 2, they're in command. Obviously, he's stacked with this unit here, which then means even though this one is, well, technically they're beyond 3 hexes, they're connected to this unit because the extended lines take it further. So everyone on 1st Corps, there's not much on at the moment, are in command. Johnson. Now he's got a command range of 10, and he's going to get Hardy here and Bragg. So that's 2nd and 3rd Corps. So command range from Johnson will be 1, 2, additional for the stream 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or we could go down the road. 1, well, it's half of the road, so it's half, 1, 1.5, 2. Along the trail then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Bragg's in command. Hardy is a lot closer, so they're in command. From there, you then go down to the individual divisional commanders. So from Bragg, who's got a command range of 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Ruggles, and 1, 2, 3 for Wuthers. Okay. And then from each of those divisional commanders to the actual brigade commanders. So Ruggles has got a command range of 6. Anderson is adjacent to him, so he's in command. Who else we got then? No, Jackson. So yeah, is it just Anderson? Will there be another division? No. Okay. And it's all color coded, you can see. So orange to orange. I was going to say yellow to yellow, but where's there he is. Gibson's is actually stacked with Ruggles. I was wondering the way the yellow divisional commander is stacked with Ruggles. So, and then taking that further, Anderson is adjacent to one of his units, and they're all connected to each other, so they're all in command. The only one that might be a problem there, his command range is 4, and he's got 1, 2, 3. So yeah, so all in command. Back with Withers. Okay, he's got command range of 8. So that's 2, 4, 6. Got Jackson in command. Jackson gets all his infantry in command there, so that's fine. Now I just realised there's some artillery over here. Okay. That is, notice the blue, that's Pons, so they are out of command. Because they're definitely not within 3 and not connected, so they are out of command. Can I put it out of command? There we go. Boom. What have got to do for each? Oh, it's done it from both. All right, so they're out of command. This cavalry unit, can I put a label on this? No. Notice it's the orange. So I can attach him to a brigade. Anderson 2, 4, or Gibson 1. Gibson's got command range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to attach him to Gibson, so he's fine. Pity I can't add a little note. What is there something I can add a little note? We add him to Gibson, that's yellow. I've got a little yellow marker. Stick that on him. And I can even put a label. I think that's going to be too small, but we can put Gibson. There we go. Yeah, it's right on the top of the counter. Can I go any further? Yeah, I can. So we could put that. We've got one marker right next to him. Oh, looks like I've got it bouncing off the hexes. So there we go. We have to stick it on the counter there. So he's attached to Gibson, so he's in command. We've done Jackson. Let's just zoom back out a bit. Withers is with Calmers. They're all in and adjacent. And Withers, Gladden's now back into his command, and Gladden's are all back in command there. So we're quite happy with Bragg, apart from those 2 artillery. Naughty artillery. Okay. Heinemann, he is the divisional commander. Hardy brings him into command. Hardy's got command range of 7, so Hinman's quite easy. Hinman then commanding Wood. That's the blue guys. He's got command range of 5, so everything looks, because these guys are all adjacent to each other, so that brings him into command, and even that cavalry. So yeah. Claiborne, Hinman's 2, 4, 5. Claiborne then has also got 5, so all of his guys are in command. And Hardy is stacked with Shaver. There's all Shaver's guys. This cavalry here is yellow. We're going to attach him to Shaver's brigade. So I'm going to put another little yellow marker on him. And change label and call him a Shaver's. Again, it's a little small, but it's an aide-memoire. So all, apart from those two sneaky artillery units right at the back, are in command for the Confederates. Now the Union. Now they don't actually have an army commander on the field at the present. So, in the special rules for this game, chain of command, Union division leaders are considered in command during the division orders phase for purposes of activation and division orders. Unless specified by scenario, they do not need to be within Grant's command range. For in-range divisions, Grant can use his initiative rating like a corps commander. So we don't have to worry about, like we just had done with the Confederates, we don't have to worry tracing back to Grant because Grant's not even on the field as yet. So, and we only really need to look at the units that are going to be able to activate this turn. Now, there's an alert schedule for April 6th. We know Peabody's division, it's the 6th division of, well, it's the 6th division. It's actually the 1st Brigade of the 6th division. I'll make sure I get these numbers right. Peabody 16T. What's the T stand for? Don't know. I just said don't know, but anyway, he is part of. He's the 1st Brigade of the 6th Division. Yeah, I think the T is. Oh, the Army of the Tennessee. What's the T stand for? I don't know. This is the Army of Tennessee. So we have to worry about his command. The detachments out here, and these guys in yellow. So he's got command range of 4. That's 2, 4. Sorry, 2, 4, and that makes him in command because he's adjacent to him, and same with him. Now, is Peabody in command? Now, he's got to be within 7 hexes. Prentice. Prentice isn't. He's not in command range of Prentice. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Peabody is out of command. That's probably my bad placement. Okay. I did have the opportunity to change that, and we go back 1 hex. 1, 2, 4, because people have only got a range of 4. So that'll put him out of command. So, all right, we'll accept Peabody is out of command. Yeah, marker, there he is. Okay. That means he will probably get 1 less activation. Oh, wait a minute. Brigades are not effective but being out of command. Little footnotes. You got to look at the footnotes. Brigades are not affected by being out of command from the divisional commander for the 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. turns. Individual units are affected by being out of command from the immediate leader, i.e. 1 less activation. So we don't have to worry about that then. He's technically out of command, but we don't have to worry. So I'm going to remove the out of command marker. Oh, it seems like I did everyone in the hex. Okay. There we go. Read the footnotes. All right. So now other units that could become active, depending on the roles, we have 3rd Brigade, 5th Division. Now, this is where we've got to start searching for units. 3rd Brigade, 5th Division. Sherman's in charge of the 5th Division. Where is... That's 1st Brigade, McDowell. No. Okay, commands listed are alert and not in reserve at start of turn. Okay, so McDowell comes out of reserve. He's no longer in reserve. Buckland, no longer in reserve. Because it says here, roll for 3rd, there's different activation rolls for the 3rd Division and the remainder of 5th Division. And the remaining, so 5th and 6th Division are no longer in reserve unless I place them there. We've got 3. Sherman doesn't have a reserve marker on him. What's this guy? 3-1. They stay in reserve. Okay. There's Prentice. Miller comes out of reserve. 2-6. Anybody else? Stewart. Who's he? 2-5. Wow. He's way out of his well, he's no longer in reserve. I think you might find there's special orders for him. I do remember reading somewhere in the special rules. But that's 4th Division. They're still in reserve. Okay, so now it says about individual orders, units. Brigades are not affected by being out of command from the division commander for the 6th. Right, individual units are affected by having 1 less activation. So if we start with McDowell, he's got a command range of 4. So 1, 2, 3. So these guys here, this is where they started. Let's use 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a road? It is a road, actually. So that's 1, 1.5, 2, 2. All right, so they are in command. They're in command. Okay. So all of McDowell's guys in command. Buckland's, he's got a command range of 3. 2, 4. He is out of command. Base Stackman's okay. 2, he's out of command. We'll double check. For command purposes, the command range is all leaders for farm lanes. All leaders trace command through woods at 2 movement points. So that would be 4 movement points there. So yeah, he's out of command. Okay. Hildebrand, unit he's with in command. That's blue artillery. That guy's definitely out of command. Now, can Stewart, Sherman actually put anyone in command? That's a good question. Doesn't say. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh, Sherman's activation rating is not used to determine AMs on the 7 AM turn. Okay. Prentice's divisional cavalry units remain in reserve. Yeah, as I say, there's lots of little. I mean, it's to reflect what's going on. So Prentice's cavalry, which is they're going to stay in reserve. So let me find a reserve marker just for them. So they stay in reserve. Okay. If I do make any mistakes here, remember that I haven't got someone nudging me saying, no, 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 it's only me. Okay. So he's out of command. Blue, he's out of command. Now, what happens without command units is they get 1 less activation. It says the brigade, individual units are affected from their immediate leader. Okay. This guy here, way out of command. Now, this artillery, 1, 2, 3, is in command. That's out of command at the moment. We haven't actually been assigned to a unit. So I'm just making sure I mark all the ones that are currently out of command. Right, so we know Peabody's is fine. Stuart got command range for those guys are okay, but that one's, yeah, 1, 2, 3. No, out of command. Okay, if I missed anybody, right, now the detachments, I think they're automatically in command. Just double check that. Okay, lots of little fiddly rules, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Attachments. Now, on the 6 a.m. turn, they're in command. Attachments that start more than their movement allowance distance from any unit of their parent brigade during the division orders phase are out of command. Okay, so we're at the present moment, determined chain of command. These guys are going to be way out of, because they're moving rate it's 1.5. Oh, it's only 4 hexes, 1.5. Because this is their parent formation. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's within movement range. And these move like leaders. 1.5, 3, 4, 5. So both of those units are in command. This unit might struggle a bit more because they play movement as if they were leaders. So the actual field boundary for leaders is 1.5. Why have you got 2 figures? I can't remember why I had 2 figures. It's a few days since I've done this. Okay, so his command ranges, that's 1.5, 2, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Yeah, he's out of command. But just. Okay. Right, so bringing up the sequence of play, we have just done chain of command. We don't have to do activation efficiency determination at the moment. That will start happening next turn. The amount of activation that's done for the Union is done by this little chart I've got here. Roll for a number of activations. Okay, so with the Confederates, okay, stand corrected. For the Confederates, we have to do activation efficiency determination. What does that mouthful actually mean? Okay, so each player, but this time it's just the Confederates, picks efficiency markers to determine the efficiency of his corps. He uses this efficiency to see how many activation markers divisions of that corps sees for that turn. Whew. Okay. Let's pull that out of the way and let's bring up this draw pool here. Oh, didn't come up, but there we go. We've got an efficiency pool and the activation pool. It's 2 different things. So the efficiency's got to be done for each corps. Now we have 3 corps on the field. So let's bring up the... Okay, that's it. Where's the older bell? There it is. So each of these corps will get an efficiency marker in it. And that's drawn from an efficiency pool. Now, each battle and each scenario will specify what efficiency chits need to go in the efficiency pool. Now, for this particular scenario, it tells me the Confederate efficiency pool is, okay, 1. All right, I'll tell you what, I'll build them up and then I'll show you. Okay, so It says here, the efficiency markers in the mix indicated in the battle book should be placed each turn in this kepi here. Then each turn during the efficiency phase, which we're doing now, players alternate seeding the kepi and drawing one efficiency marker for each division in play. That's for the Union. I'm sure it's done by Corps. EMs are marked so that only the owning player and game observers can see them or peek, blah, blah, blah. Drag each EM marker to its respective space on the Union and CS order of battle. Yeah, for the Union, it's drawn by the division. For the Confederates, it's drawn by Corps, hence why it's got the efficiency positions on these here. Whereas we look at the Union order of battle, they've got their efficiency by division. The Union weren't organized into corps. But we don't have to worry about them this turn. So the battle book has given me 1 times 1, 3 times 2, 4 times 3, and 1 times 4. All of them all need. Okay. So when we draw these chits, and we place them on each of these markers, if we were playing a face-to-face game, or even an opposed game by a battle, what's drawn is unknown to your opponent. And this tells me how, or the player, how many of the activation markers they can place for that corps, for each of the divisions in that corps, into the activation pool. So last turn, the Confederates automatically got 3 activations for each of their corps and divisions and therefore brigades. This turn, that's not going to be the case. If they draw only a 2, then they're going to get 2 activations in a turn. But their opponent, if we're playing I will know, but if we were playing a face-to-face game, wouldn't know how many activation tokens have actually been placed in the pool. So I now put all these now in a pile and stick them in the pool. Notice they've now come blind. So now I draw for each of the corps. And at the present moment, click the wrong thing. Where has he gone? There it is, Kepi. And yeah, that's a problem. Maps active. So, okay. So I'm going to draw for each of these: Polk, Bragg, and Hardy. Breckinridge isn't on the board yet. I mean, I don't know if did any of these guys arrive this turn? That's a good question. If they arrive, then they need an efficiency draw. Now, Breckinridge Reserve Corps comes in at 8, so we don't have to draw an efficiency for it, but we can do. I suppose it doesn't hurt. So, okay. How am I going to do this? Well, let's see. If I draw from here, so this is for Polk. All right. So I'll place it on Polk. There he goes. This one's for Bragg, and I place it on Bragg. And the last one for Hardy. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do Hardy. I'll do Breckinridge just in case there is a unit that comes on beforehand. And there they are. So let's now remove the kepi for the moment out of the way. And let's see if we can zoom in on this. I can see. No, not. Why can't I flip these? Oh, because I'm logged on as. I want to logged on as observer. Okay. All right, let's try that again. All right, so I can now unmask. So 3, 2, 4. There was only one 4 chit. So we can see what's with these efficiency markers that are drawn. He says, we'll try to find his mouse. There it is. Okay, so Polk's got an efficiency of 3. That means he could, each of these 2 divisions can put a maximum of 3 chits in the AM pool. Bragg's only got an efficiency of 2, so he can only put 2 for each of his divisions. And Hardy's got 4, so he could put 4 in. Now, that doesn't mean that they actually, I mean, you could put the chits in, but any unit that activates more than twice in a activation accrues fatigue. Now, I think this turn we don't have to worry about no fatigue for 3 activations for CSA. So if any of Hardy's units activate for a 4th time, then they will accrue fatigue, but they can do it. And I'll go through all the fatigue rules when we start to get there. And Breckenridge gets a 2 as well. So that's the Confederates' efficiency drawn. We'll go then into the next stage because we don't have to worry about it for the Union. So what's next? Okay. So we've just done the activation efficiency determination. Now division orders. So this is where divisional commanders can get to change the orders for all of their brigades. So players with a chain of command from the brigade leaders to the corps commanders may change the orders of any brigade in that chain. This is because when you activate an individual brigade, you can change its orders, but this one here is where you can actually change the orders. And I don't think you need a die roll. Okay, so yes, for the divisional orders, as long as there's a chain of commands from the brigade through to the corps, they can change their orders. Now, the question is, do we want to change? And we'll look at the Confederates first. Okay. Remember, you've got 3 orders you can use. You can use advance, march, and attack. Now, I think there's no march allowed this turn either. Yeah, CSA march orders allowed from 9 a.m. USA march orders allowed from 10 a.m. So we don't have to march. We just got attack and advance. And the main difference between the two is with attack, your movement rate is hard, but you can move and fire, whereas advance, you can move or fire. But if you move, you can move the full movement allowance. The other major difference is with the attack, you can move adjacent to an enemy, whereas with the move, with an advance, you cannot. Now, we've still got a considerable distance for the Confederates to get into combat range of Peabody's and beyond. So I think we're going to keep all the divisional orders for the Confederates as advance. Yes, we've got these guys to deal with, but we can hopefully shoot them out the way with one of the activations. Now, the Confederates. Now, I had a comment from one of my viewers saying it was a bad mistake to put the Peabody under attack orders. Why did I do it? I did. That was a brigade order change. I did it, 1, to show how brigade is changed, and 2, because I was thinking that they can move forward to engage and use them as a speed bump. However, in reflection, realizing that they can't retreat before contact if the Confederates shock them whilst they're under attack orders, probably the best way for them to defend is for them to advance. There we go. There's an oxymoron for you. But they can't change it in this phase because they're not within, Peabody is not within command range of Prentice. It did say that they're in command, or classes in command, but it didn't say it allows them to change orders. So I'm going to leave them under attack orders until their activation. So in the divisional order change phase, there are none. We don't have to worry about reinforcement orders, or do we? We have got reinforcements coming in. Give orders to all reinforcements scheduled to arrive this turn. Let me have a look. Can't be under march orders, so they're all under advance orders, anything that's coming on. And reserve placement, we don't want to put, we've been removing the reserves, so we don't want to add anything to reserves, and the Confederates need to keep going, so none of that. Right, so we're now into the activation segment. The first one is initiative activation choice. So we know that the Confederates have got the initiative, and they can keep 1 a.m. out for their first activation. And well, it's going to be from Hardy's Corps, and it's going to be Hinman's division. So let me bring up the draw pools again. Here we go. All right, so I've taken everything out of the efficiency pool, and I'm going to put one of those in there. That is going to be the first activation to get the guys moving. So that's the initiative. That is literally that step there. Initiative, activation, choice. And now we do the AM pool placement. So, let's write that down. That was cool. Okay, so this is where we bring, I'll put that out of the way for the moment and bring this up here. So with that, I keep saying so. I did say that in my other video, right? Polk's got an efficiency of 3. Clark, they've got, well, we can't clone from here. That's a bit disappointing. Okay. Okay, so I've drawn 4 chits out for each of these divisions, and I will now place the Confederates into, so we know this one's drawn out already. That's going to be now Clark. I can place 3 of those into the pool. So let's bring those to the side there. 2, 3. Same with Cheatham. He hasn't even come on the board yet. Can't place 4 in there. Maximum of 3. Okay. Bragg. Only a maximum of 2. So Ruggles. 1. So in a face-to-face game, where there's only 2. Your opponent wouldn't know this. You do this all behind a screen, and yeah, plonk them in the pool, and then shuffle, and away you go. So Hinman can have 4. We've already got 1, so there's 3 more. All 3 end up in that list there. Breckenridge, he's got 2. I don't think he's got anyone coming on. No, so I'm not going to put any of his in the pool there. There'd also be a March AMs, but we don't have any March. And then we've got the unassigned units, and they can have 3 as well. 1. You don't have an efficiency mark for them, they automatically get 3. Let's say if we had marching abilities, we could place that on there, but we don't. So that's everything for the Confederates ready to go in the pool. Now we're going to do the Union. And with the Union, I'm going to fill this chart up here with what I can use. Okay, so there's only Sherman's and Prentice's divisions that can be activated at the present moment using the alerts. Now, last time I put 3 chits in, or maximum is actually 2. I put 2 chits in and then worked out to see if how many of those actually became active when they were drawn from. Let me start that again. That was just wasn't it? Sorry, I do apologize. Okay, so for the first brigade, 6th division, so that's Peabody's, he had a potential of 3 activations. When the first chit was drawn, that's an automatic, but when the second chit was drawn, I placed all 3 AMs in there. I rolled to see if it was an actual activation. And it was on the actual chart, it's only got like a 30% chance. So I rolled a dice, he didn't get that activation, and therefore he automatically didn't get the 3rd one. Now, this is going to be still the case for 7 AM, but now we're doing it for 5th division counters and the rest of 6th division. So I'm going to be putting them back. I'm going to be putting 3 chits in for Peabody's and 2 chits in for everybody else, because the maximum activations the rest of them get is 2. And then on the first one, they will automatically be activated. And on the second one, then they can, we roll to see if they do actually get a second activation. Hope that makes sense. So let me sort out, well, so Sherman's division, there we go. We'll put 3 chits. 1, 2. Now the maximum any Sherman's division will be is 2. So there's 2 chits. Prentice will be 3. 1, 2, and 3. So that's it. That goes in there. Yeah. Starting 8 a.m. they've got what they've got already, and they can activate further pick any 2 further divisions. So you can see there's a whole lot more Confederates in there. So let's plonk those on top there. Boom. And then stick them all in the activation pool. There we go. Whew, we got there in the end. Right, so that's the Kepi. We know Hinman is going to be the first activation. Bring this back up. So it's AM pool placement done. And we're now doing the first activation draw. We don't need a draw. It's Hinman. He's activated. And we are ready to go. I will probably make the video quite long. I'll probably do 1 or 2 units from Hinman's because I have the choice. Bringing that back up there. I could change their orders. Don't want to do that. Brigade coordinator phase. I could coordinate so they all move at the same time. Don't really need to do that either. So we're going into the action phase for whichever brigade. I'm going to just do 1 brigade for this video and then carry on in a second. So I think probably, and Hinman's, all these guys here. Let's have a Mr. Blue. Who's Mr. Blue? Where is Mr. Blue? Is that under there? No. He's under him himself. There he is. That's Woods Brigade. We're activating Woods Brigade. We're not changing the orders, so they're under advance. So we will advance. Remember, we can't move adjacent, even to these guys. But we're out of range, so we can't shoot, so we might as well move forward. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. And he's going to move 1.5, 3, and change facing. Rotate clockwise, counterclockwise. There we go. So he's now ready to fire. So it's 3 on that unit there. Rotate counterclockwise. Control comma. Right, okay, we know from now on. Moves forward. This guy. So we're going to control. Wrong way. Do a free facing change, and it's 1.5, 3. And you can change 1 facing X. One and a half, 3 is actually a good idea. He could, yeah, let's move that back. Let's not do that. Okay, he can, that's 1.5, 3. Can't move adjacent, but he can cross. Now that is a gully. Gully's +1, streams +1. So he's on 3. To cross from there to there will cost 1.5 for the woods, 1 for the streams, that's 2.5, and 1 for the gully. 3.5. He hasn't got a movement point. So, all right, so it is best to do what I was planning to do in the first place. He hasn't got enough movement points to get across. There we go. Then 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. That's 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. Okay. The cavalry, we're gonna I don't really want to carry charge at the present moment. And the cavalry can't dismount in this one, which is unusual. Okay, so he gets a free facing change. Cavalry in... He's like Woods, I think it was 2. I'll do a double check. Was it 3? Woods is 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. It really is on top. This guy. 2, no, 1.5, 2, 1.5, 3. Four and a half. I'm assuming that that's a marsh. Well, a marsh stream. That's marsh stream. Blimey. That's 4 on a disorder check.
I don't think we want to go through there, do we?
No. All right. And now this artillery. Now, artillery in this is 3. 3, 6. Yeah, I think that'll do. Right. Where is Wood? Let's keep him there. Okay. That's his first activation. Done. Clear all the move. Keep it clear. Right. That's all I'm going to do in this video. So let's go back up to the top. Okay. Not much happened really, other than going through the initiative segment, the order segment and such. Well, there's a lot of little niddly things there. I just wanted to go into quite a bit of detail on that. I won't go into that kind of detail again, maybe, unless it's something going seriously wrong with the command system for each side. It's something to keep aware of at all times. Even during this activation, you've got to remember that where you want them to be next time. So keeping it all together is important. Otherwise, they get less activations. Now, I did mention the fatigue system. So we know that this turn as well, the Confederates are going to get 3 activations fatigue free. If they do a 4th, then they get an activation. And also, if they go into shock combat, they gain activation fatigue as well. The fatigue system, all units currently are unfatigued, and they go through different levels of fatigue as they accumulate. The first 2, 3 might have no effect, but once they go into fatigue level 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4 being the maximum, they start taking detrimental die rolls. They move less, they suffer consequences on their UDDs and so on. So that's something to consider. Obviously, as the battle progresses, you can recover from fatigue by going into reserve status and so on as well. So the fatigue system is there. There's an ammunition system as well, which we'll go into once that occurs. Right. So moving on to the next video will be, I'll do the rest of Hindman's division. Thank you for watching. Remember to do the like, subscribe, and comments much appreciated if you can. And I'll see you on the flip side. Until then, bye, Internet.